So hello everyone. This is our altar server training video to help you understand a little bit better, and you can review how we're going to serve Mass at St. Francis Xavier. So we have with us Haley and Jaleese and Tegan, and we have Father Bobby at the back and Deacon Doug to help us walk through this. So when you line up for Mass, cross bearer obviously in the middle, flanked by the candle bearers. Think half a step behind. So not a full step behind the cross. You're lighting the cross, but the cross is leading the way. So you're just half a step behind the cross bearer all the way down. And so you walk straight to the front, and you always stay as a line. So any way that you move as that line together, moving through. And so you guys want to process in for Mass. And so notice when they turn, they keep that same line all together every time they make a movement. And you go straight to the little alcove together, letting the cross lead the way. And place the cross and the candles on their stand. And then the cross bearer goes through the sacristy to get to their chair, and the two candle bearers come up to their chairs in the sanctuary. Okay, so now everybody's at their chairs, and Father starts the Mass with the sign of the cross and the opening greeting, and then we have the penitential rite, so that's the Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. Then when it's normal times, we would have the Gloria, and then after the Gloria, Father will say, let us pray. And that's when the cross bearer grabs the book. And the way that you're going to do that, you're going to bring the book. I'll show Haley how to hold it. Actually, just the way she is right now. And Deacon Doug's going to grab the ribbon. And Haley did it perfect. So as Deacon Doug opens the book, you slide your fingers around the bottom pages so that you can hold it. And hold it where the priest can see. So most of the time it's going to be me. So hold it where it's nice, where my eyes don't have to look way down, but nice and straight. If it's a visiting priest sometimes, then for a taller priest, you might need to hold it a little bit higher, or a shorter priest a little bit lower. So look at the priest's eyes so that he can look pretty straight out, then hold it just the way Haley is, up against your chest, not away from your chest, and not too low. And then when you hear Father puts his hands together to conclude the prayer, then you can close the book and you can walk back to the side. And then after that, we'll all be seated. Okay, so after that comes our first reader, then we have our psalm, and then we have our second reading. And for the candle bearers, your cue to move is when the second reader is leaving the sanctuary. Candle bearers, you leave at the same time. And so whenever we're moving, we're never in a hurry. Even if you forget something, you still move slow. Nobody else is going to notice. You take your time. During that time, Deacon Doug is going to stand, and so is Father Bobby. And Deacon Doug is going to ask for the blessing, and Father will give Deacon Doug the blessing. So candle bearers, when you come out of the alcove, what you want to do is you're trying to time to be at the altar at the same time as Deacon Doug. Okay, so just watch for when Deacon Doug is moving so that you can come around, and just like at the procession in, when you walk, you're walking like you're tied together. So just the way Tegan and Jaleese did it, and then you come up to the front, and then you turn and walk behind the ambo. And Jalise comes all the way to this side in one straight line, and you all turn together, and then when you're in a line, now Deacon Doug will lead you forward, and you walk with him, just like that. And then you stand beside the ambo, lighting the book of the Gospels, so facing the ambo. Okay? Then Deacon Doug will finish by saying,
Gospel of the Lord.
The Gospel of the Lord. And we all say, praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. To leave, Tegan and Jalise will go back, and this candle bearer has to go a little bit slower to give his or her partner time to meet them. So Tegan, you keep coming so that you join as a pair again to walk down the stairs back here and place your candles back. And then once your candles are placed, then the candle bearers can come back to their seats. And then after that, Deacon Doug or Father will give the homily. So you can be seated. And then after the homily, then we all stand again for the creed. So the I believe in one God, the Father Almighty. Then after the creed, we have the prayers of the faithful. So we pray to the Lord. Lord, hear our prayer. Then after that, everybody sits in the congregation, but the altar servers don't. Now the altar servers have work to do. So Deacon Doug is going to move, and the cross bearer is going to come through. So the cross bearer is going to come at the same time as Deacon Doug. Deacon Doug is going to stop at the altar, and the cross bearer is going to bow at the altar and then come to this table we call the credence table. So just think, any time that you're crossing the altar during Mass, you bow to the altar. Okay? So now the cross bearer is the one who kind of directs traffic. Okay, so the cross bearer is in charge of letting the candle bearers know what to do and when to do it. So the first thing that the cross bearer is going to do is getting one of the candle bearers to grab the chalice with the purificator and the paten and the pall and the corporal together. And so just like Tegan's grabbing it, you grab one hand in the middle, one hand on top, and Tegan's going on the right side of Deacon Doug and placing it at Deacon Doug's right on the altar, just like that. And then Tegan walks back, and now Deacon Doug can start to set the altar. So he starts by unfolding the corporal on the altar. And then he'll take the pall off with the paten. Okay, and so you're watching Deacon Doug from the side here. You're going to grab. So when you see Deacon Doug has set everything at the altar, now the cross bearer can grab the book, and the cross bearer is going to grab the stand with the fat side close to them, so that when the cross bearer walks, when Haley walks to Deacon Doug can grab it and place it on the altar without having to turn it around. Okay? So once Deacon Doug has the book set, then what comes next is any extra ciborium that we have. So Haley will hand it off to one of the candle bearers, and so Jalise will bring it and hand it to Deacon Doug. Okay? Then what's needed next is Deacon Doug will need the wine and the water. But here's where you need to watch and pay attention, because now the altar is ready for Father Bobby. So when that's ready, Father Bobby comes to the altar to start his prayers. So wait until Father gets to the altar before you move. And when Father gets there, now the two candle bearers, one with the water, one with the wine, go around to the right-hand side of Deacon Doug, so the far side of the altar. Okay, so Deacon Doug is going to grab the wine first, pour the wine, and then he's going to grab the water and pour the water. Now, just before you go, here's the altar server next level. So if you want to be a next level altar server, when you come with the cruet, with the water and the wine, Deacon Doug is right-handed. And so the loop on the cruet faces this way, so Deacon Doug can grab it easy. So you just hold your hand out with the hook facing to the back of the wall, so when Deacon Doug reaches out, it's nice and easy for him to grab and pour, and then hands it back. And the same thing with the cruet of water. The hook faces the back, and then it's easy for somebody who's right-handed to grab it instead of trying to reach across. So once he gives you back both the cruets, then together you can do a small head bow, and then you can go back to the credence table. And so Deacon Doug will hand Father Bobby the chalice. Now, during this time, once you bring the water and the wine back, now the candle bearers are grabbing the water, the pitcher, the bowl, and the towel. So one candle bearer grabs the towel and puts it on their left arm and grabs the bowl in their two hands, and the other candle bearer grabs the pitcher and stands on this side. Okay, and then Father Bobby will pray his prayer over the bread, pray his prayer over the wine. Then you'll see Father Bobby make a profound bow, and he says a quiet prayer at the altar when he's doing that. When he comes up from that quiet prayer, that's when he's going to turn to wash his hands. So when you see Father turn, that's when you come right up to Father, and don't be shy. When you are doing things at the altar, you don't have to be shy. You can come right close. And so you just pour hands over Father's hands until he pulls his hands back. That's when you know that you've poured enough, is when he just kind of pulls his hands back. Then present your arm so he can dry his hands. And then once he gives the towel back, you make a small head bow to Father. And then the two candle bearers come back, and Father is ready to continue with the celebration of the Eucharist. Okay? So now all three altar servers are standing right here. So the two candle bearers are in front of their chair, and Haley, as the cross bearer, is exactly where she needs to be right now. Okay? So Father continues with his prayers for Mass. Your next cue is when we say or sing the Holy Holy. So when you start hearing everybody together saying the Holy Holy, that's when all three altar servers are going to come down to the base of the sanctuary. Okay? And then as soon as that is done, as soon as we're done the Holy Holy, Hosanna in the highest, then that's when the first ringing of the bells happens. So before you even kneel, to have the bells ready, so that when that hymn is done, you ring the bells once. Just the way Haley did it. That's the sign for everybody to know it's time to kneel. So that's why it comes right after the Holy Holy. So everybody will kneel, and all three altar servers kneel together with everybody else. Okay? So then, the one who's ringing the bells is watching Father. Because Father Bobby is going to give the action that will let Haley know when to ring the bells. So Father Bobby is going to grab the large host in his hands, and he says the words of consecration over the host, and then when he raises it, like he is right now, just like that. So ring it 3 times when Father raises the host. And you can let it ring. You don't have to make it stop ringing right away. Just let that chime sound through the church. Then Father will set the host down, he'll genuflect, and then he grabs the chalice. And then he speaks the words over the wine, and then he'll raise the chalice. And then he sets it down, and he genuflects. And then when Father gets up, then everybody gets up with him at that time. Okay? And then once you stand up, you can go back into the sanctuary to where you were before. So candle bearers in front of their chairs, and cross bearer standing on that side of the altar. And remember, our praying hands are up here by our chest. So either clasped together or palms together. Okay, one of those two nice up here, then everybody knows that we're praying and it keeps us from being distracted. So now you're praying with everybody else for quite a while. So Father keeps praying the Eucharistic prayer, and then after we'll pray the Our Father together, then we'll have the sign of peace, and then Father will break the host and prepare for Holy Communion. And then Father Bobby will give Holy Communion to Deacon Doug. And then when Father goes out for Holy Communion, Deacon Doug is going to come to you first. So Deacon Doug is going to come across and give the altar servers Holy Communion. Okay, so you receive Holy Communion. Now Deacon Doug will go out to the congregation, and Father Bobby is going out in front. Just wait, Father Bobby. You want to take that with you? You take that with you. So now all the Eucharistic ministers are giving communion to everybody else, and the three altar servers are here. So take your time, there's no rush. When you're ready, after receiving Holy Communion, the cross bearer comes to the altar, and this is what's left. Okay? So now the cross bearer again is in charge and is using the candle bearers to help them take everything that's on the altar off the altar. Okay? So the first thing that comes off would be the book. Just like that, so that we can clean everything else up. So it goes chalice with the purificator on top, and then the paten on top of the purificator, then the pall on top of the paten, then slide the chalice off the corporal, and then you fold up the corporal, so take the top, fold down, the bottom, fold up, and then fold in one side, fold in the other side, place it on top of the pall, and now the cross bearer can look over and one of the candle bearers can come and grab it in the same way that it was brought over, so one hand in the middle, one hand on top, and that goes to the table at the bottom, so the credence table that's down below. And then the cross bearer takes the missal and brings it back to the same table, the one up top. Okay? Now the altar servers are done their job until Holy Communion is finished. So the candle bearers can be seated and the cross bearer can go. And Haley did as well to bow to the altar, and she can go back to her chair. And now you're just waiting until the end of Mass. So Father Bobby will bring the ciborium over to the credence table. And Father Bobby and Deacon Doug will bring the hosts to the tabernacle and purify, and then they'll make their way back to their chair. And as they cross, they bow to the altar. And then they'll be seated. And we stay in a moment of silence until Father decides he's ready for the prayer after communion. So then Father will stand and say, "Let us pray," which is the cue for the cross bearer to grab the missal and come up to Deacon Doug. Again, holding it with hands on the bottom. Deacon Doug will open it, slide your fingers over the pages, hold it up against your chest, and come right in front of Father. And then Father will say, "Through Christ our Lord," and we all say, "Amen." Pause for a second, because like right now during Advent, there's a special blessing at the end. And so the priest still needs the book for the special blessing. So he'll turn the page, and you just slide your fingers over the page for the final blessing. And then when the priest starts saying, "And may Almighty God bless you, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit," you can, as he's doing that, you can close the book, and the cross bearer goes and places it back. And now again, without running, the cross bearer immediately goes around behind the sacristy, and the candle bearers, even if Father is still giving the blessing, you guys can move. Altar servers can move because they have a job to do. So candle bearers go to the alcove to meet the cross bearer. And again, you're timing it to be with Father and Deacon Doug. So after the blessing, Father Bobby and Deacon Doug will go to the altar to kiss the altar. To the back of the altar, Father Bobby. They're kissing the altar, and then they go in front. Candle bearers and cross bearers are coming across, again, staying in that straight line together, just as the three of them did. And you're standing facing the altar behind Father and Deacon, and then Father and Deacon Doug will genuflect. And when they stand up, all three servers turn right, slowly, and then start the procession out, followed by Father Bobby and Deacon Doug together. And once you get to the back, you can just keep going from there straight to the sacristy. And then you blow out your candles, you set the cross down, and you're finished serving Mass. Like I said before, never worry about making a mistake. It happens. Most people don't even realize that you're making a mistake, so don't worry about it. We learn from it, and if you ever have questions, don't be shy. We're in this together, and believe it or not, even I make mistakes, but most people don't notice because they don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's the same thing with you. So we try to pray well so that we can make the Mass beautiful and prayerful for everybody that's here. So thank you, all of you, for serving Mass, and I look forward to serving many Masses with all of you. God bless.